Morning, everyone. I'm Michael from UBTech. UBTech is one of the leading robotic companies which focus on the service, the home service humanoid robot. So right now we are one of the biggest AI education, one of the humanoids service robot companies in the world.
Hi guys. Sorry.
Hi.
Nice to meet you all.
Nice.
Thank you for joining us today, Angelo, Mark, and Michael, and Sakura-san. Before we start, because our time is very limited, we're going to start very soon. It's live stream. So I'd just like to make sure that your video is actually in the right position. So I think, Michael, can we actually get you to adjust to sit a little bit further, or your camera to be a little bit further away from you so that we can see? Yeah. Okay, perfect. That's a good position here. Mark, perfect. Sakura-san, are you standing up or are you going to be sitting down?
I stood up, but this is a bumblebee desk. I can sit or stand.
Okay, so perfect. We just need that little bit of gap, between your head and the top of the video, because what we're gonna do later on is we're gonna crop you guys, and it's gonna be in a different screen. All right, that goes live. Okay, so maybe very quickly, let's go one round. Say hello. Let me just hear your volume here. Maybe we start with Sakura-san.
Hello, this is Sankarshan, co-founder and CEO of Bumblebee Spaces.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Mark.
Hello, Hello, I'm Mark.
可以讲中文。
可以讲中文 OK. 那
can speak English.
大家好，我
can
是
speak Chinese. Hello everyone, my name's Mark. Legal CEO
and 创始人。那
and founder.
公司是一家专注于
Mark, OK 好了，可以谢谢。我们现在就测试那个语音，因为还没正式开始，一会儿正式开始的时候
the audio.
Angelo,
this is not an official announcement. When we start officially, Angelo our MC will tell you.
Good morning.
OK 可以 Michael 谢谢 Thank you. Angelo,
Hello, good
test
morning.
the sound?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Wonderful. Okay, so I think we are all set here. If you guys are ready, I'm gonna leave you guys to this. Angelo, Mark, 你这边英文是应该能听懂对吧？就一会儿你回复的时候你用中文没问题的。
Mark, can you understand English? Well, we can answer the question in Chinese.
谢谢各位。Thank you everybody for taking the time today. All right. So once you're ready, I think our team here would get you guys started with the live streaming. All right. So just when you're not speaking, you can feel free to mute yourself, but before you speak, please check that you are unmuted. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay. Lulu 那边 OK 了。Okay, let's go.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I hope you have had a nice start of the morning. Okay, good morning. This is Angelo Racoma. I am the editor at Techno Global, and we shall be exploring how to make your home smarter. We have on the roundtable Sankarshan Murthy, the founder of Bumblebee Space, Mark Wang, the founder and CEO of Orvibo, and Michael Tam, the Chief Brand Officer of UBTech. So let's give a brief background of your company and its technology. We can start first with Mark. So tell us something about what UBTech does.
Hello, 大家好，我是 Mark， 欧瑞博的。
Hello everyone, my name is Mark, the founder and CEO of Orvibo.
在这个 Beyond 的
Orvibo. I'm really happy to meet all of you in this metaverse
专注全屋智能家居的一家公司。
2022. Orvibo is a company committed to the whole family
我们一直
smartness. We have around 3 million users around the world. The company was founded in 2011. Ever since then, we focused on products that can provide smart solutions and smart experience.
生命和用户最重要的组成部分，我们相信
A family or a home is It's the living space that connects to our
世界
human
的
beings.
事情。
Well, by changing the home environment is a way to change the world. So I'm really happy to discuss the home smartness and intelligence with all of you. Thank you.
Okay, now we move on to Michael. Can you tell us something about what UBTech does?
Hello, everyone. I'm Michael from UBTech. UBTech Robotics is one of the global leaders in intelligent humanoid robot. We are focused on enhancing how we live, work, and play by bringing intelligent robots into every home and business.
Thank you for that. And over to you, Sankarshan. Tell us something about Bumblebee Space.
Hi, everyone. Good evening, good morning. We're beaming in from San Francisco, kind of the Silicon Valley hub of technology. So Bumblebee is the space company. We create space using intelligent robots that are mounted to the ceiling and that bring down furniture when you need it. You can kind of see systems are kind of like tethered, and I'm working on a stand desk here. In the night, this room will become a bedroom. So all this is possible by adding intelligent stack in the ceiling, and we have a incredible software stack that understands the user, the usage, and we have sensors kind of understanding the space. So we can transform the spaces based on the needs at the moment.
Okay, thank you for that, Sankarshan. Now we heard about intelligence, we heard about robotics, we heard about spaces. What do you think are the key elements of smart home technology, and what are the trends, and how are these making an impact on the way we live? Perhaps we can go first. Over to you, Sankarshan.
Yeah, definitely. So I think so far, traditionally, when we've talked about smart home, I think it's mostly been lights, speakers, maybe some security devices, locks, and we don't really move architecture. So what I mean by that is we don't really move a lot of atoms in the home. We're mostly moving electrons and sound. And then, there's thermostats and some control devices. But the real need for smart home arises to make the home actually work for the user. To do that, you actually need to move atoms. So the way we approach it, there is the furniture aspect of it. So, so when you look at first principles, we're not really using all the space all the time. So you look at your bedroom, your bed sits there 16 hours a day doing nothing. You look at your closet, you're in and out for a few minutes, rest of the time, it's occupying all the footprint. And when you look at where you're spending, and this is, housing crisis is brewing in every major city in the world. So when we look at the building block of what is the smart home supposed to be doing in the future, it should be working for the user. It should be creating value there, right? And to do that, the home shouldn't be a static function. It cannot be a bedroom, a closet, a dining table, when they're not used all the time. You're just spreading out in 2 dimensions. So the way we approach it in true 3 dimensions, it's kind of like first principles thinking. We use the full volume. It's cubic feet or cubic meters instead of square meters. So we put our systems, modular systems in the ceiling, bring it down when needed. And then all the intelligence, the sensors, all that is to enable an incredible user interface. So how you interact with it using voice, using an app, ability to kind of determine what you're storing, where is it. We take out that whole cognitive load from the user and move it to a computer in the ceiling. And that's what creates like a really incredible user interface.
Thank you for that, Sankarshan. Now, Mark, your company, I believe, focuses on integrating all of these technologies and providing, perhaps a console or an integrated user interface. What are your thoughts on these? How are smart homes, how can this make an impact on us as consumers, as people who live in these homes?
So 依然是3个要素，对吧？对。那
So I think there are 3 elements, 3 key elements.
我认为智能家居的3个核心要素呢
，3 key factors influencing the smart home. So the very important, the first thing is the user's demand. None of us is in a better position to educate consumers or users. It's the other way around. Actually, it's the user that educate us. The pursuit for better life or better home environment pushes us to develop the technologies, pushes us to provide the solutions to allow the users to have more interactive interactions with the home space, and pushes us to bring the smart technologies to the home space. I think the most important factor is the consumer's demand. Actually, we are stimulated and encouraged by the consumer's demand. This is the first key factor. The second one is, of course, the technological progress. The early stage smart furniture. Well, let's say 10 years ago, smart furniture means you got a panel to use electronic ways to control your furniture. Thanks to AI and IoT and other emergence of cutting edge technologies, we can offer the experience to consumers that can never be imagined before. We shouldn't forget about the 5G technologies, the smart voice, ASR, LP, the technological progress in this regard or in these fields allow the consumers to experience the things that really exceeds his expectation. And the cost, communication technologies really lower the cost so that the consumers can have access to the smart furniture or smart home space at a lower cost. Well, in the past, we need a physical wiring to control these smart furniture. But right now, thanks to the wireless communication technology, well, we don't need this physical wiring any longer. For those already furnished or furbished home environment, we can still transform them into some sort of smart space or intelligent space. The third key factor is the maturing of industrial chain. We all know that the smart home requires chips, IC applications, and AI technologies, algorithm, and some advanced materials. We also need sales channels, services, installation, a whole bunch of things. So indeed, if we want to create a smart home, we need to establish a whole industrial chain, and this industrial chain is developing very rapidly in the past 5 to 10 years. So the solution providers are getting better and better, while the cost of smart home space is getting lower and lower. The products are no longer at the top of the pyramid. Indeed, it's more available and accessible to the ordinary users and consumers. This is what we call the technological equality. So basically, 3 factors: consumers' demand, technology progress, and the maturing of industrial chain.
So these 3 technologies surely will give much better experiences for the users and consumers. and they have a stronger feeling that this will become a part of their life. They cannot live without, and more people will be having a chance to get those services and technologies. So I think these are the three key elements to smart homes. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you for that, Mark. Now, we have heard about AI, IoT, and spaces, and also robotics and humanoid aspect of robotics. Now, Michael, I also have read that UBTech has a focus on education. Now, what do you think is the impact of this, and how we learn, and in terms of improving our homes, our businesses, and what are the trends in this industry as well? Over to you, Michael.
Sam, actually, when we are talking about the smart home, we are talking about the smart living for our human beings. I think the AIoT developments allows all the society and human beings is based on the AI embedded digital world, could help us to build up a very good infrastructures, which we never had before. So the AI-based tools that enable our robots to simulate human with personalities and also have the very meaningful interactions with people and involve those interactions from our environments. So once we are further develop the AIoT, could allow a smart home to have a very good environment to let the robot to have a good understanding about all the activities within the home and allow our robot to understand more about the needs and response we as a family members, friends, as collaborators. The robot could focus on provide values, provide productivities and service to become more commercially viable in a very wide range of applications at home, which means our human beings will enjoy a more compassionate care. Like the robot is not only a AI tools at home. The human robot will act as maybe a nurse, maybe as a family doctor, act as a friend to accompany our people at home to enjoy a more quality of life, in which our people to enjoy our life and free our hands, free our minds, free our people for all the home work, so you can enjoy the really high qualities of life at home.
Thank you for that, Michael. You mentioned how these technologies are, enabling us to focus more on, quality of life. Now, Sankar-san, Michael mentioned something about, making these into commercially viable applications. Now, from the perspective of, businesses, industry, and even, the ecosystem and environment in general, what are the opportunities of smart home technology? What impact will these have from the industry at large?
Yeah. I think what Michael mentioned on improving quality of life, that I think that totally resonates. When we look at robotics, we also think very deeply, where we kind of beat the robotics out of the system to make it almost like a assistant, right? And in our case, it's not humanoid, it's not anthropomorphic robot, right? It's just systems moving, it's re-architecting the space, but it's still responding like an ambient computer that's assisting. Think of it like Iron Man's house. And, you talk to Jarvis, bring me my shoes, bring me my gloves or whatever. So that's kind of Bumblebee. So Bumblebee is a verb inside the Siri kit in iOS 16. So you can say, hey, Bumblebee, my red shoes. You can be very specific. And that's how the interaction kind of develops. Regarding kind of like how commercialization of robots, how kind of we see it, so we're solving a very like specific, very necessary need of housing, space. I mean, all of us pay for space, right? Like this is kind of like the most that everyone you spend either on mortgage, taxes, rent. This is most of the money where you go. And if you look at it, it's in square foot, right? So I think the couple things we learned early on, whenever you have a technology like this, it has to have current legs. It has to work in the world that we live in today. You cannot wait for the world to change. We cannot expect a new type of building where Bumblebee will work. It has to work in buildings that exist today in Shenzhen and Shanghai and in San Francisco and New York. So the buildings have to accommodate the technology today as is. And to do that, we had to approach it in a retrofit manner. So our systems are very much built for retrofit. And that's kind of, we work with home builders, developers, homeowners, owner operators of real estate and different people. And anybody who wants to have more space can come to Bumblebee and kind of create their own version. It's completely configurable. Every unit is modular to a sense that you can configure it as needed. So that's kind of how we don't think about bringing technology into the future. We're bringing it into the present. Like it has to work today. Only then it has future legs.
Thank you for that, Sankar-san. Would you have anything to add to that, Mark? And Sankar-san put a big focus on the 3D, right? And the space aspect of smart home technology. Now, what opportunities do you think this will have in terms of building products, in terms of architecting or engineering, new maybe buildings or maybe retrofitting what we have today? So what are your perspectives on that, Mark?
好的，感谢。那我想这是一个
Okay, thank you. So I think this is a very good question. Because, I am always a strong believer of a smart home bringing about greatest change to our life on one hand, but also generating new transformation to our society and environment. So I think it is more than an industry. Rather, it is a great era. So all the relevant professionals having a lot to do with the smart homes will have a lot to play, have a great role to play in the future. I think the benefits from a smart home will be threefold. First of all, we can really expand the horizons of the conceptualization of what we call smart home. Secondly, systemize the product ranges of smart homes. For example, locks, switches, household appliances having nothing to do with each other. So we are all independent sellers and vendors, but now our users will have a strong demand for a holistic or systematic chain, combining everything from lock to door to appliances to everything. So this will generate a substantial and fundamental changes to the supply chain, to the market, marketing values, and whether or not you have the capability of providing those a complete set of things instead of only providing one lamp, one light, or one lock to your customer. So, for the vendors, for the setting channels, for the service providers, no matter who you are, so long as you are on the link, there will be a huge change. I hope in the whole process of transformation, those who are really closer to the needs of the customers will become the kings of the future. This is the first thing I want to mention. A revolutionary change of the original supply chain scenario or the landscape. Second thing is more relevant to the real estate developers. It poses a huge challenge because, there are more and more houses built in China that are highly decorated or completely decorated. So what we care more about those homes is whether or not we can generate more values from those furnished homes. So science and technology has a connected link or an intrinsic link with that of the future technologies and the future ways of furnishing our homes. So for our company, I think, our market share has now risen to about 14.1% of the total in China because we really enter this industry at the right moment into this home furnishing industry. And we work together with those brand names like Vanke, like China Resources Holdings, like My Dear Estate, and so on and so forth. So at the early stage of designing the house, we sit together to design the house with each other so that when the homes are delivered to the buyers, they will have a turnkey experience of what they get. So this will transcend the original values or the superficial values of what they pay for the estates. And also, apart from hardware improvement, also we need to be aware of what is behind those hardware, like the software. So for the smartphones to be well functionable, it has to be hand in hand with those antivirus apps and many other supportive gadgets. So I think it will generate a comprehensive growth of everything along the whole chain, like hardware, software, services, peripherals, and many other things, including maintenance of the hardware. This will also they can also be translated into a huge opportunity for industrial growth. So apart from user experiences, this will significantly change the environment in which we now live. This is both a challenge, but a golden opportunity, not only for us, but also for all relevant industrial players in the next decade. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark, for those insights and the forward and future-looking aspect of smart homes. Now, Michael, I would like to ask you, from your perspective, what do you think will drive higher adoption of smart home technologies? So Sankarshan mentioned, something about bringing the future right to today. But what will we need for more people, more businesses to adopt, to buy into this technology?
Thanks, Angelo. When we are talking about the smart living, how we bring the current technology into our daily life. So from the robotics industry perspective, the AI embedded solutions together with a robot at home absolutely is growing very fast. So we have a vision in the 10 years time that we very clearly see that right now more and more service robot is coming into our daily life. So you can see in the restaurant, you can see the delivery robot, which helps the restaurant to providing more maybe efficiencies. You can see the service robots at hotels could help the hotels operations have more efficiencies in 24 hours of time. So when we go into the home service, we are talking about how we enrich the quality of our life. We absolutely can see there's 3 stages. The first stage, you can see no matter the Bumblebee or the Mark talking about the AIoT, we connect everything with our environments. So that's to let our robots to have the data with a digital way. So when the robot can see the home is not a physical home no more, he can build on a very digital infrastructure base that everything is based on the digital interactions. So the robot could understand what the human needs. This is first the stage. The second stage, when we put everything online, we put everything, the AIoT connected. That means our human beings need a helper. Like the Bumblebee, you bring my watch to me, okay? Who help you to bring your watch to you? Thankfully, your robot at home can bring you. He could be a very helper to bring you everything at home. He can help nurse you at home. He can maybe take care of you at home. This is the second stage. So at this stage, we need to train the robot based on the digital data for our environment. And then he can repeatedly to interact with us, with our human beings at home. And more, further and further, the robot, your robot, could understand you more deeply and meaningfully. And then the robot can help you, can respond to you, can accompany you with a very high quality of service. This is second stage. And maybe in a 10 years time, when we're looking forward, we can see the service home robots could do more for us. Because at the center of the, what we call it the information center and the service center at home. And the service robot could do more roles at home. So what we are talking about, service robot is not a robot, not an AI tools. It's your friend, it's your nurse, it's your family doctor. Maybe it's your trainer. He can help you to walk your dog, okay? He can help to accompany you to run every day. He can help you to do yoga at home. He can help you to talk to the elder people, taking good care of the elderly people at home. So the service robot could do a multi-roles at home. When the AI going to the next stage. So this is what we see the 3 stages of the development for the robot industries.
Thank you for that, Michael. Now, perhaps a brief, insight from you on that, Sankarshan. What will drive higher adoption of these technologies? You're doing it right now, but how will we do it elsewhere?
Right. Yeah, I think, we're, I think about this quite a bit because, right from, when I got into engineering, I've been fascinated by robots, right? Like building electromechanical systems that kind of respond around the life of the user. That's kind of the dream, right? And, the softwares that are, I think there's like a few basic things which we've gotten right. I think, what Mark was talking about, like you cannot have each product that you install, a lock, a doorbell, a camera, a light, they cannot all be its own system. There needs to be cohesiveness, right? And that makes it a lot more interactive, a lot more useful. And second of all, I think the way the world envisioned future robots, the user interaction was like very much like keyboards and touch screens and LEDs. And I think the more we see kind of what will create real adoption is the user should do less. The user should not do work. The robot should take away the work from the user, right? And that, which means the user, when the system reacts to the user, it needs very high confidence. And to build that, you need very good AI, very good sensor systems, very good understanding of the space, the time, the events, like those are very critical. I also believe real estate is one of the slowest moving industry in general, right? Like if you look at, I have this thesis that real estate developers are very lazy, they're cheap, they're risk averse, they're not very eager to do new technology. But they will do it if there is a sure economic incentive to do it, right? If the incentive for them, it's like kind of like, think of it like appliance, like washer dryer. When initially no real estate developer was putting washer dryer in the home because it costs money, it's more hookups, all that. But now if you don't offer it, the house is not appealing. Like nobody wants to move into that house anymore, right? So it becomes, to make the adoption higher, you want to make it more boring. You want to make it more predictable, more reliable, more boring, and just works. There's like things that, like there's like basic necessities that should work. And then the way like people want to like really make it their own is by surprises and delightful features. So, our hardware is very one-dimension motion, make it very simple, very reliable, easy to install, make it like that. And the software is where all the surprises happen. It's just suddenly like the system knows where is your Nike shoes. It knows where is your, blue socks. Like it understands. And when that happens, the user cannot go back. It's like going back into, olden days. Like that won't happen. They only look forward. And to do that, first you have to make it boring, and then you add surprises on top.
Thank you, Sankarshan. Now, from what Mark, Michael, and you, Sankarshan, have said, it's something, the technology has to be invisible in the background, and just let us enjoy our lives, right? Now, Mark, what would you have anything to add to that, to what Sankarshan and Michael said about how we can, encourage, or how we can increase adoption of smart home technologies?
对，其实刚刚也聊到类似的话题我始
So
终
just touch upon the similar topics. I always believe that the science and technology is the first productivity factor.
技术的不断的发展，让智能家居不断的进步，这是
It is the development of the technology that pushed the development of the smart home solution. I think
除了技术之外呢，我们也看到说
apart from technology,
那个用户的体验的创新就刚刚我看到我刚刚
the
看到
innovation in user experience is also very important.
就是 how to say 就是这位美国的这位创始人
American founder.
我觉得
I just
非常
browsed through his website. I thought it was quite cool.
但是他把这个技
I
术
believe
在
that many technologies
里的
are already ready there, and he
我认为这个
applied these technologies to the storage to home environment for the storage of
技术
items.
之外，其实是用户体验的创新。
I believe that apart from technology, the innovation and customer experience is also very important. Just like Apple.
在技术方面，当时的创新也没有那
Take
么
iPhone for example. Probably they're not using the most cutting edge or revolutionary technologies,
其
but
实是
definitely
我们带来
iPhone is a leader in providing novel and innovative customer experience. I believe that smart home solutions also needs to give that wow effect to our consumers.
它的 Bumblebee 是吧？这个 how to spell it 就是
How to pronounce the company, the name of your company, the Bumblebee Spice? I think you can offer a perfect user experience.
那第三个呢，就是说
The
产
third
业
point is third point is industrial
说
coordination.
OK 美国的这一家初创公司的产品和欧瑞博的智能家居能不能做 connect？
Well, let's say whether Bumblebee Spice products or solutions can connect with Oribel's solutions and products. That's why we need industrial coordination, especially standards. Well, in the past, we have different types of standards. If we want to do a lighting solution, we got lighting solutions for Apple, for Google, for whatever company's brand.
造成了
There are diversified protocols and standards.
OK
So from a consumer's or user's point of view,
设备厂家来看
from OEM's
都是
point
很
of
糟糕的
view,
事情。所以我
this
认
is
为
a
了一个非
terrible
常重
thing
要的一件事情
to have so many protocols. I believe that
业协同和标准
the next important thing is the
现
establishment
在
of
可能有
protocols,
一个机会就是
unified protocols.
Meta
MATTR Matter, I believe it's a good opportunity, offers a good opportunity for us to
的一些 protocol
unify those siloed protocols into something universally agreed upon. Matter will be released
非常
October, that is next month. I believe it's something that we should look forward to.
OK 从技术的推动再到用户体验的创新推
Technology,
动
consumer experience innovation,
协同大
and the whole industrial coordination are the three key factors.
Apple 有一套自己的
Google used to have its own protocol, Apple its own protocol, Amazon, they have their own protocol, and these protocols are not connected to each other. There's no interconnectivity or interoperability
的价值
among
是
these protocols. I think
所以我
if
相
we
信
can really achieve that unified
极大的
protocol, we can generate huge amount of values for our consumers, and it will really push the adoption of these smart home technologies.
I think that's all the time that we have for this morning. So we learned a lot about, how the smart home technology is actually bringing, intelligence, bringing robotics into spaces and not just, software. But we learned also from Michael that, it's important for these technologies to learn how we humans live in order for them to better help us, in order for them to, be our helpers, be, something in the background that we don't really have to think about, but just be or just use, right? And we learned from Mark the importance of collaboration, setting standards, bringing all these into an integrated system so that, it's just more effective, more impactful, and, something, as I mentioned earlier, something invisible, something we may not think about, but it's just there, helping us, being of service to us, as Mark mentioned. So thank you everyone for your time, and I'm happy to have learned a lot. I hope the audience at Beyond also learned a lot too. So again, have a great morning, and I look forward to learning more.
Thanks, Angelo. Thanks,
Thank you
everyone.
very much. Love to stay in touch with the other panelists too.
Thank
I
you.
think I agree that we should be collaborating because a lot of systems that we can derive value from each other.
Definitely. So thanks everyone, and I will keep in touch. And for more opportunities to collaborate.